What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Detailers Den. Today we got Brandon of Wagstaff Detailing.
What's up, guys?
And of course, we got my co-host Marcos.
What's up, Carnales? How are you?
All right,
So-
Brandon. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's fine. We're here. We're starting new year.
Yes,
and
Happy New Year.
episode of the podcast Detailers Den. So, I mean, we have been talking right now, and as I told you, I really like your videos or the way that you make your videos. I really like it. I enjoy it. They're fun. They teach us a lot of things. But I don't know if you like to start talking about how do you decide to first to be a detailer? You know, like everyone that wants to
Yeah,
start.
let's start from the beginning.
That's a good question, and I hear this. It gets asked a lot with detailers, and like I think I always hear a common theme where detailers are like, "Oh, growing up, I loved cleaning cars. I like cars." Yeah. But like honestly, like I feel like it's a lot more than that. Like like becoming a detailer was like a long time in the making, and it wasn't more so like me becoming a detailer. It was like maybe when did I make the decision to be an entrepreneur? When did I make, yeah, and but like specifically a detailer, one of the reasons that piqued my interest was in 2021, I ended up having two brand new cars. I had two 2021 vehicles, right? They were nice new Toyotas, and I was planning on keeping them for a long time. They're Toyotas, they last forever. So I was gonna pay them off and just keep, we all love our Toyotas, right? And so I started researching, how am I gonna protect the paint? Like, how am I gonna preserve my vehicle, right? And I started watching YouTube. At the same time, I was really getting into YouTube. And anything I wanted to learn about, I would go on YouTube and just watch hours of stuff. And what happened was I realized in order to like protect my paint and preserve my car, I was gonna need like a garage full of equipment. If I wanted to do it right. So, and I wanted to do it right, And so at the same time, I actually was getting involved with Turo. It's like Airbnb for cars. Yeah, so like car rentals. So, and when you have car rentals, like at least my business model, I'm buying newer cars, and I want to be able to preserve them and protect my investment for a long time. And so when I get the rentals back, I don't want to just run them through like an automated car wash and just get them all damaged. So I was like thinking long term, like, okay, well, when the cars come in, I'll hand wash them, I'll wax them, I'll vacuum them. So, long story short, guys, like I just decided that to protect my new cars and to also wash my rentals correctly, that I might as well buy everything necessary to do a full exterior detail, interior details, as well as like corrections, like paint corrections and carpet cleaning, steam cleaning.
How was your first experience? Like when you start, how do you start?
So yeah, like the very first experience, like, cause like when you don't know much about detailing, like you're just scraping the surface, like on YouTube, like I guess I first bought a bucket with the screen in it. I thought that was pretty cool. I got the bucket, the microfiber wash mitt, and my first thinking, like my first idea to start the business was because my investment, like my mindset of how much I wanted to invest it was still a lot. I was willing to buy like really nice equipment, but did I want to buy a whole van or a trailer? No, my first initial thought was doing it out of a Prius or a Toyota Corolla, like a compact car.
Yeah, there's people that have it straight up in front.
Yeah, like it's all like nice, and so I started investing into like smaller pieces of equipment that you could fit into a car. Yeah. So my first experience doing a detail, I did it maybe like a city over. I got referred to somebody that worked at like a temple, like a Buddhist temple, and I went to go detail this lady's car, and I think they call them the master priest, or I don't know. I'll probably mess that up, but yeah, she was like the master of the temple. You know, she was the head lady, and I think she had her head shaved, everything. She had a cool minivan and everything. So my first experience going to do a detail, and I had the Toyota Corolla packed with like a rechargeable vacuum, a rechargeable polisher, and a bucket with a rolled up 50-foot hose.
Man, you came ready to go. First one, huh?
But
Yeah.
how do you get like from starting clean your car to get to this Buddhist? I know your friend told you, right? Well, told.
Yeah.
But I sorry if I didn't get it. How do you get like the idea? This is a business.
Yeah, you know what? I think you get so enthused about the whole process. Like when you start learning about detailing, you want to tell everybody, hey, do you know that your paint is getting fried in the sun? Hey, do you know that you should probably have UV protection on your plastics and this and that? Because guess what? You spend a lot of money in your car, right? Do you want it to last like 5 years from now? You don't want it to look all burnt up.
Yeah, you want to protect your investment.
Yeah, so you care for the people. First of all, first and foremost, like your neighbors and your friends, once you learn the knowledge, you care for them. So you're gonna tell them the knowledge to look out for them a little bit. So that's how I initially started. And then at the same time, at the end, when I would tell them what I know, I was like, hey, would you mind if I wash it? I'll cook you up. I'll give you a good price. So.
Cool.
So,
Like
sorry.
I would say, like you said, it's like the entrepreneur in your mind, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like you have an ulterior motive, right? Like you do care and you want to help, but you also look at it from a business standpoint. I spent a lot of money on the investment because why? Because I had a lot of swirl marks on the Toyotas because I started when I bought the vehicles. I think I even bought one in 2020. I got the 2021. It wasn't even out yet. It was in 2020. And it was about 9 months into washing them. I would take them to the car wash bays where you brush them with the brush and you do it yourself. And it's like, I didn't want to take it to an automated car wash because I know those are really bad, but I know those brushes are still pretty bad. And pretty much every day that went by, I was feeling guilty. I was like, man, my brand new cars, I'm not taking care of it right. And I would have this guilty conscience. And, so, after owning the vehicle for maybe 9 months or something, and when I really got serious about trying to take care of it, I had to first do a paint correction. There were swirls everywhere, so I had to polish. Actually, it was a clay bar, iron decon, then paint correction. Then after all that, I was able to put some protection on the car.
And all of that you learned from YouTube, or you already knew something about it? Yeah.
YouTube University.
Yeah.
Did you like mess up the car or?
You felt comfortable right away polishing?
Away, I definitely covered all my bases. I watched a lot because my day job, my original day job, that I basically used that money, that extra money that I had after paying all my bills every month, had a little bit extra. That was DoorDash, and so I was driving like 8-10 hours a day. And while I'm driving, I have the map pulled up doing a delivery. But you know how you can put YouTube in a little screen on the top? I would put that, and I would literally watch videos and listen to videos like 8 hours a day while I was learning. So I get a lot of knowledge, and then if I would take a little bit from each video and then apply it to my own car.
But you did exactly what you needed to do, because a lot of people we watch videos, but we never put in practice because we are afraid of messing up with the paint, messing up with the car.
Yeah.
But you cross that line when you put in practice your knowledge.
Right.
But weren't you afraid in that moment? Oh, I'm gonna scratch it more or something like that, or?
Oh yeah, for sure. With the polisher, it's definitely one of the most intimidating, right? Yeah, there's so many people, there's so much information telling you to do this, telling you to do that, and it's like, it's really, it's just like using a hammer or a screwdriver. Like you gotta get it in your hands and do it. Like, yep. Yeah. So like once I did my cars, and I had like, I literally had probably like a big, my whole balcony or storage area was full of equipment. And I was like, okay, well, I got all this equipment. I basically used it what it was for to get my investments, my vehicles protected and maintained. Now, how can I use it to make money so I could actually pay for all this stuff
Yeah.
I paid for, right?
That's
Yeah.
crazy. So you kind of like dove deep before you even started, huh?
Right. Yeah, it was all for my cars, like, so
The way that you said, I feel like you fell in love with detailing because you really like
when done
detailing.
right, I
You
fell in love.
take care of
Uh,
other cars, of your friends. And as you say, you weren't trying to sell, but you were trying to say, hey, your paint is doing this, is doing this.
Yeah.
So just explaining or just talking, you were selling at the same time.
Yes.
So going back to the Buddhist place, how was the experience? Do you feel peace?
That's interesting. Yeah.
It was, yeah, they offered me a meal that day, and I think they gave me, because there was other people there, so they were like, hey, can you do my car? And yeah, so I ended up staying a little longer, and at that time, when I was first starting, I was so excited to do every service. I wanted to offer engine bay, I wanted to do plastic restoration, headlight restoration. So when I had that first client, like I told you, the master of the temple there, I was doing a full thing. Like I was doing clay bar, polishing, headlight restoration. So I was there for a good amount of time. So they brought me lunch. I took a lunch break.
Good
sat
food,
there.
right?
Yeah.
I've had food at the Buddhist temple.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
good.
and they,
Really?
good,
yeah,
yeah.
they do really, really good food. Like it's kind of like a vegetarian style.
Yeah, it's vegetarian.
And then they had some music and hymns going in the background because they were, doing their meditation or their devotions.
But you were near there, like
Yeah, it was
when
in
you
the parking
were
lot.
like
Yeah.
polishing the car
Yeah,
and
these
everything.
temples are like, they're kind of like a compound.
Yeah,
Some of them.
they're a compound.
Yeah.
So you
People
were
stay there.
polishing. They were meditating. You were. And they go,
Right. And I'm like, should I turn this equipment off while they do
yeah,
that?
I bet that.
Yeah. I was like, I think feels a little wrong, right? I should be.
Yeah.
But have you worked with her again, or have you go back?
I think all of us detailers can relate to our first clients when we start the business where we make mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think I made a couple mistakes with her as far as pricing goes, but she was a repeat customer maybe 3 times, 4 times, and I think what happened was there was some issues with the pricing. Maybe the pricing gradually got up a little bit and she didn't like, and I lost her for that reason.
So the issue with the pricing was you were too low at the beginning.
I just didn't know what I should be priced. It was such a learning experience. You got to play around.
No,
and
of
it was
course.
really-
I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
one
at
of the
first
biggest questions for detailers.
Yeah.
Like how much should I charge?
You know what? Now looking back at it, I'll tell you exactly what the problem is. When you're first starting out as a detailer, it seems like such a hurdle. Like when you enter into a detail, like when you're gonna start this, it's kind of overwhelming, and it's like a long process. You got to follow all these steps, and then all your training kicks in, and you want to do it perfect. So you feel like you should get paid a certain amount, and you have this internal conflict with your pricing, and maybe you're overpricing. But as you get experienced, your process gets really efficient, and you get more affordable, you get more fair. You're happy, the customer's happy, the pricing's just right in the middle, and it's good. But I think a lot of people struggle in the beginning with the pricing, and they might overprice a little bit, but maybe because it's okay. They're probably, it's justified in a way because they're spending a ton of time doing the vehicle. So yeah, they want to get paid for their time, but I think maybe they're not as efficient enough because they're inexperienced. So, but once you're hustling, boom, 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 you can lower the price a little bit, or you'll be more comfortable getting a certain price.
Yeah.
Like back then, I was literally spending about 4 to 6 hours on a detail that I do like 2 hours now. Like that's how long.
Wow.
That's how much I put.
I'm pretty sure that you're
Yeah.
saving time, you're saving money in products, and you're getting more clients, right?
Yeah. And I'm sure at first you're just buying like a few bottles of this and that, right? So now you got to buy in bulk. Yeah.
I won't lie, guys. I had all the chemical guys stuff. It's like I had all the little ones. Like that's what I bought. I didn't even know.
Yeah, of course. There's one point that everyone needs to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get what you get like at the local Walmart and
Yeah,
Target,
exactly.
right?
And I was
So,
like, wait, I can't be going to Walmart for my stuff. So
yeah, you learned that right away.
exactly. So yeah, it was cool. I went through that stuff, and then you learn to the next stuff, and you just keep going. It's a very fun journey. Like detailing done right, like when you get into like the scientific aspect, like the steps and all the methods and everything, and like it's interesting. It's different than maybe just going off the top of your head, like, okay, I got my car in my driveway, let me clean it with the garden hose, maybe let me get some soap. What kind of soap do I have? Oh, I got some dish soap. Okay, like how am I gonna dry it? Oh, well, I got this bath towel here. Like, no, if you go on YouTube and you see people that's been doing this and caring for cars for 20 plus years, and they're in the automotive industry, and you listen to this stuff it's like a trade, and then you start learning, you're like, oh wow, this is a profession, this is a skilled trade. Like, let me educate myself on the proper techniques, and then man, the finished product is amazing. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad to hearing you about like how YouTube helped you, and now you have your own YouTube channel. So when did you start that YouTube channel, and what was the purpose of that?
I think, like, first and foremost, YouTube is kind of like a dream for me, and I think it is for a lot of people. Like everyone, like they probably dream of making some money on YouTube, right? They watch it, yeah. It's fun. It's fun. You watch another content creator, and you're like, dang, what a fun job! Like they're just making videos and stuff. So I always had that passion in a way to start up a channel, and then with detailing gave me a platform, and it gave me and then I had a vision for my van, and I've always been kind of artistic and creative, and it was so. And then at the same time, I just wanted to help. Like, I wanted to just share my journey, and then like of how I built the van and stuff, and then from there it's evolved, and it's still evolving, and I'm still trying to figure out where it's gonna go, or how, but it's
Oh no, you're definitely evolving. You said only since 2021?
yeah.
Since
So
that,
I
man.
was looking up the YouTube videos, and like when I uploaded first and stuff, and my first upload for my van was 9 months ago.
9 months ago. Wow.
Yeah, so a lot happened in 9 months.
Yeah, when I first discovered you, I thought you've been doing this for years and years, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Nah,
thank God for YouTube, man.
Yeah.
It's really
Gotta-
as I
got a
told you
scholarship.
in the beginning, it's really good content.
Yeah,
It's
really good
fun.
content.
It's
Yeah.
informative. Your content is I don't know. It's valuable. It's really
Thank you,
valuable.
man.
Yeah.
So guys, check it out. We're gonna put it like in here the
Yeah, definitely
YouTube
check
channel,
out his stuff, guys.
or in the description is gonna be there also, so you can go and check it. Because I don't like you. I was really like laughing, like I'm a detailer and this happened, and because
Yeah.
I like that you talk about your experience.
Yeah, we washed our van in the middle of the appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just I hear that from some of my followers and people that comment. They tell me, hey man, your stuff's pretty unique and it stands out, and just keep doing it that way, and gives me motivation. And it's like, all right, cool. Like, let me just keep doing it, because I feel like when I make the content, like a lot of it just comes from me. It's not from following others or trying. I've done it before. I've seen some guys that do some cool stuff, and then I tried to copy it in my video, and it just doesn't come out. It's better to just be natural and just do you, and try and keep improving.
Yeah, it's creating your own style. I mean, I think every one of us, we are like inspired by people.
Oh, of course,
We
of
want to
course.
be like them, or we want to create things like them. But at the end, you start like with that goal, and you finish with your own style.
Right? Like
And
in
then
the
people will want to do your style if they like it.
yeah.
They're gonna want your style. But in the process, it's part of. I think it's everything is part of the process. So you start learning until you finish showing how to, right?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the best way about, well, the best thing about detailing community is that there's ton of way to do things. It's just showing the way that you do it
Mhm.
and showing the results that
Right.
you get.
Yeah.
Like I feel like my job, on social media is to motivate and inspire. Like one of my jobs, I have many jobs on there. A lot of my, I definitely, there's multi reasons why I do it. One reason is there are many commercials for my business and it helps me get clients, right? But then the other reason is I know that I have a platform and I can inspire other detailers to start up their business too. So I want to portray it as being professional and being organized and stuff, and then showing the following and the community that it's possible for them to do it too. It's really possible. And that's another thing we should probably talk about today is overcoming fear of investing into the business and getting over that fear of risk, of like losing money over it or it not working out, because that's an important thing.
That's
with a lot of details.
well, related. That's what I wanted to ask you. Or right now, there's some new detailers that are gonna watch it.
Yes.
So how would you tell them like to lose that fear,
Yeah.
to cross that line?
Like, how did you get over that fear to cross that line?
And that's why I mentioned earlier when you asked me, how did you become a detailer? And I told you, well, I think it's a different question. It's like more of like, when did you decide to be an entrepreneur, right? Well, for me, I call myself an entrepreneur because I really diversified in business. I have multiple businesses and I just love to invest in things that make me money, right? So first and foremost, I'm an entrepreneur, but detailing is my passion, and my detail business, it's like my baby, man. Like I literally out of all my businesses, it's really my favorite, right? And but when I decided to get into investing, I wanted to get away from my day job. My day job I had two day jobs. I had a day job where I was making good money, and it opened my eyes of the possibility to make good money, right? Luckily my manager has seen some things in me and they promoted me and they allowed my yearly income to really grow, and I got a taste of it. I got a taste of my worth, what my potential was. And but things didn't really work out there. So I ended up kind of really getting heartbroken over a little bit, because it's like, man, I put all my effort in there, and then for me to just have to start over, I was like, I really don't want to work for another company again. I don't want to invest all that to possibly lose it. So because it's real hard, like dealing with different personalities within a company, a corporate setting, or having toxic bosses or something. They mistreat you and then you don't want to put up with it. So I actually took a pay cut. I didn't go look for a job similar like that. I started working DoorDash. I was basically an independent contractor. I signed on when I wanted, signed off when I wanted to. Had no boss, no coworkers, and I just worked at my own. But my last job, I was very disciplined. 10 hours a day, 6 days a week sometimes. And I would even work through my lunches to make extra money. It was like a lot of commission. So I was disciplined. I applied that in DoorDash. And at the same time, through 2020, we were going through COVID. So there was a lot of money to be made in the delivery app. People, yeah, they were tipping good. And so I found my way towards the beach. People tip there better, right? So I ended up down in Orange County by the beach. I was driving from like LA area down there, and made a good amount of money, right? And that's when I told you I started learning. Like after doing that for about a year, making a good yearly salary that year, I just decided to invest some of my money, right? And kind of, because DoorDash at the end you do cap out. It's kind of a dead end job in a way, right? But it's good. It allows, it's flexible. And I decided to start investing. And the one thing that I was scared of at first investing was how much money I wanted to spend on the business. Do I go buy a Harbor Freight reel or a cheap pressure washer, or do I go buy like a Krenzla or something expensive? And oh man, guys, I think that in like that's when I overcame those hurdles and I was just willing to just go all in, and I kind of like just that's really when I took off with investing. It really came down to the money thing, and it was like, am I gonna cheap out or am I gonna risk it all? Am I gonna and I really learned about leveraging credit too as far as business. It really helps. So I leveraged my credit. Like I used my credit to get the van. I used credit cards to buy a huge portion of the detailing supplies and equipment, products and stuff. And that helped me too. So
So you
yeah.
think you going all in really gave you that push?
It really did. It helped my vision, and it helped my mentality understand more, like because I wanted more. So I ended up wanting more, so I learned more. And I there was more at risk, so I took it more seriously, you know? So yeah, so there's a lot of risk. So you got to really learn all the ins and outs and about the business.
Yeah.
Yes. So, if there's an entrepreneur right now here that wants to start their detailing business, you 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 want them to like to invest everything, or what's the first how do you say
Advice.
advice to give?
Man, it's like I would because I stand behind DoorDash. So I would say, look, if you really want to tend to your businesses, if you really want to grow a business, you really have to have a flexible primary source of income. And for me, DoorDash was a flexible, it was a primary. I could make good money, but it was flexible. So if I got a detail appointment, I could just work the detail appointment.
And there's no boss that's gonna fire you.
Yeah,
Right?
but for the average guy, they don't want to drive, or they don't have the car to drive. So like they might have a truck or a big SUV, so it's not perfect for doing deliveries. Or they already have a full-time job, so it's a lot of fear to start going from that to a gig job. It's but yeah, like my to tell them, and then for me, I'm kind of biased. It's like, do you go all in the business, or do you start with like a little bit and learn? Because there's a lot to learn. Like I told you, I lost clients in the beginning. So what if I would have had a smaller setup? What if I would have had like did it out of the car for a long time until I really got experience with how to, but it's so inefficient, you guys. And we're busy people. We're really busy people. So you want to get as efficient as possible, as quick as possible, so you can do as much as possible throughout your day. Because what do you have kids, you have a wife, you have shopping, groceries, cleaning the house, cleaning your own car, and then now you got to fit in all these other tasks with a new business.
Yes.
You're making me think about my schedule. Like, yeah, I gotta do this. I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
do
that's
that.
right.
So then you want to on top of that, you want to try and detail out of a car. You want to try and detail. So if you have, okay, so this is what I would do step by step. If you had a day job, right? You're watching this today and you're thinking about getting a detail business started. If you have an extra $1,000 a month to a disposable income to start investing into detailing, one of the first things I would probably tell you to do is go buy a used mini cargo van. Just go buy it and put it at the house and just park it. That would be your first thing, right? Or buy it in 6 months, but start buying everything needed to build a custom setup in a mini cargo van. So go buy a pressure washer, buy all the necessities, because maybe you can start detailing at the house in the meantime, right? But at one point, you're gonna want to use that extra $1,000 or $500 a month that you have from your day job to pay for that car payment, that van payment. So the and your van payment can be anywhere from like $300 a month to like $500 a month, depending on what type of van you want. Do you want a newer van with low miles, or do you want like a newer van with high miles, or do you want kind of like an older van? And so you're most likely going to be spending between like 15 grand to 30 grand on an auto loan. And that's going to range between $300 to $500, right? So what you do is you just suck it up and you use that extra disposable income to pay that car payment. And it's your little baby sitting there waiting to be like used, right? Like
That's really impressive. I never heard that advice,
Yeah.
I always heard like, okay, if you want, you have to risk it, or you have to go step by step, little by little. And I'm gonna be honest. I really think that like you can go step by step, but I really like your way of thinking. Like you go and you go 100%.
Yeah, that's a huge
And
push.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's amazing because you're preparing yourself with your money, like instead of getting like a loan when you don't have work or anything. While
Yeah.
you're working, while you're generating the money, you're starting to prepare for the next business, and I think that's an amazing advice.
I think it's a smart way. Like, I know a lot of guys that they do it the other way, where they start out simple, and I don't think they're gonna be as happy as having it done right. Like, I feel like it's all like a quality of life,
Yeah, yeah. I know
So-
what you mean.
right?
Yeah.
So
Gives
if
you that
you're,
push and it gives you that commitment too.
yep,
A
yep,
lot of people struggle with
you're more motivated.
commitment
Exactly.
to
Yeah, so I know like also it's kind of, you got to ask yourself, do you want to detail 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day, 5 days a week too? So if you quit and you go all in right away, you might feel trapped, and you might feel like you're not as passionate about the business. So I liked how I did the gradual progression, and yeah, so man, once you're out there and you're committed, you better be ready for it, because it's a big workload.
Yeah, because you're saying something like also another good point is you see how it's detailing on YouTube,
yeah.
or do you feel that it's the same what you see as the real work when you do detailing?
Not entirely. Yeah, not entirely. It's definitely a lot more aggressive. Like when you're out there and you're working hard. Yeah, it's you're gonna implement your own style, and you can't second guess it. You
No,
really got to
I
be
know.
confident in what you're
It
doing.
has to be a flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember a lot of what I learned on YouTube slowed me down a lot, because I was trying to follow all these steps from
You're second
different
guessing
guys.
yourself.
Because
Yeah.
when a lot of these guys make a YouTube video on, they need the content, they need the time frame, so they literally like will tell you things like this step and then this step and then do this and then do that, and they're like doing it all slow, and it's like
No, I know
it's
what you
not like
mean.
that in reality.
No.
No, you're
Yeah.
Even doing the video, I'm pretty sure they are like having a lot of time to do that video, because you've seen like it's a lot of time preparing yourself to do the video, shooting, cleaning the car, be aware of the sun, be aware of the time and the paint. Like in YouTube, things looks really nice, easy, relaxing, but sometimes you are like just well, right now it's cold, right? But you're just in the heat. It's outside. It's really warm. You have to start filming, or even if you're just gonna focus on detailing, you're gonna have to go fast to not get the sun if you're outside. You're gonna have to have different positions that they're not so comfortable as they look on YouTube, or if you're doing like you're cleaning the mats or behind or something like that, maybe it's gonna be tired than what you see there, right? Because you can see like, oh, then you clean here, and it's done.
So yeah, so
But-
many factors.
Yeah, and
It's
truth
fun
is
to be out there.
you're cleaning, right?
It's always you got to adapt, like you said, like the sun and like what the position you're gonna clean that and this. It's definitely, you're out in the field. It's a fun job. Like it's a really fun job. Like you get out there, you're there to you get called out to the customer from the customer to perform a service, and you just feel great, man. It's just you're out there doing your job. So yeah, like it's definitely not like you see on TV. When I first started really doing it big, I guess when I got into the Spotless water, because for a while I actually didn't use Spotless water.
it's tough without Spotless water.
It is really tough. Everything you do twice the work with everything. Right. Yeah, it's really tough. So I didn't, and I had a fancy setup. Like my setup was like $50K, like with everything all said and done, including the van, all the products and stuff and equipment. And I'm over here using hard water. right? So then finally, I was like, I went and got the Spotless water, and it opened my eyes too. Going to the local detail shops, man, you see like that's where what I'm getting at is where you see like the real life detailing. There's like detailers kind of like lining up to get their Spotless
water,
water
yeah.
to fill up their tanks. Their setups, you can see they got a lot of wear and tear. Like these guys look kind of beat. They've been working hard. Like the setups are kind of dirty and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is what it's about. Like we're cleaning the cars of America right here, you know? It's cool.
Yeah, a lot of times that I watch YouTube videos of people detailing, and I'm like, how these guys even sweating? You know, I start detailing and I start sweating and sweating.
Yeah.
My eyes are burned because the sweat entered to my eyes. You know.
Right.
But
it's labor intensive.
yeah, I really
Yeah.
like detailing. For me, it's like it's fun, it's relaxing. But when I finish one car, I'm like, okay, I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
Like and
Yeah.
I know detailers like they're doing 2-3 cars a day, and I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's a lot of work.
One is fun. Yeah. One I can enjoy one.
I would say like the first two you probably have a good time. Then like
Yeah.
by the third and fourth you're like, all right,
Yeah, and
Yeah,
when
it
you
gets
do a lot of
repetitive.
things, it's
turns into more of a job, right?
Right. I would like to have one every day, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, but it's more like sometimes you get a couple and then it's like but you don't want to get into that mindset either cuz I was like that too.
And how many cars do you do on average a day?
I would say easily about 3 a day. It's it's about
Full
3
detail
or 4.
or
And I
detail
should be doing more because I have 7 rental cars, so they're always needing washes. So a few of them are rentals and then maybe a couple will be customers. And like I said, you get kind of complacent into just doing one car a day. Sometimes you get a customer and he's like, "Hey, I want you to do my car." Like they're driving by and they're like, "Can you do my car now?" And you're like, you make an excuse. Oh, the sun's going down. It's getting kind of dark. Maybe tomorrow or something. And it's like, no, like get to it, man. Like make that money.
yeah. You detail just by yourself, or do you have help?
Right now, yeah, just by myself. So definitely puts a strain. Definitely gets taxing. You know, definitely, yeah. Wouldn't mind having somebody come along here and there. Wouldn't even mind having a cameraman like help me make content. That I think that's really cool, detailing content when you're able to be in your element detailing, but you got somebody helping getting views. Like I would like to do that like out in the field, right? Like have a cameraman get some good views they're pretty artistic. They know how to get the angles and stuff. And,
No, it's definitely better because we do detailing. Well, we detail cars to make videos and photos from action and everything.
Yeah. It gets tough if you're doing it by yourself too.
Yeah,
you got to transfer the tripod and put it, and you got to look and see if it maybe play back and see if the angle got right. Or
so
whatever.
you have to guess and that the angle is fine, that you're talking or you're doing the job, and you're not getting out of the frame. Like you're thinking a lot of more things than in detail.
Right.
And it will take more time if it's just by yourself.
Yeah.
Like as you said, you change the angle, you go here, you take the camera, you change everything. It's like, oh my god, I have to change.
Yeah, because I would love to see more real life detailing and see the efficiency and the speed that they have. Because there's some quick guys out there. They're producing like a great finished result, but they're working very quickly. Because time is money. When you're out there, it's like if you can get that detail done, you can perform it, do a great job, but then actually make your desired money, but maybe in half the time or whatever. It's worth it. It's how you make your money.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole world there.
But yeah, as far as maybe possibly hiring on somebody, I told myself that I would be out there in the field for a good like 3 to 5 years doing it, and then I would maybe let my setup, kind of let someone else operate it. Because definitely I would like to be in the office calling shots. Hey, you got an appointment. Here's your book. Here's your schedule for today. And,
No, yeah, 100%.
you know, couple workers and stuff.
and it's great to have a goal there, to know where you're going and work for that, and know that you're gonna still grow in the detailing business.
Absolutely. You got to stay embedded.
But and if you have to give 3 advices You already give us two, but three advices to people to cross that line and how to approach clients. Which are going to be those?
Oh, yeah. So just to crossing to the detailing, and obviously we talked a bit about the financing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what else we went over? Just kind of going all in, and I would say, just don't listen to anybody. Like, don't listen to that little head in your that little voice in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it, I guess. Like, just follow through.
Get over that fear.
Yeah, because honestly, a lot of people they talk about it. So I would say this: don't talk about it.
Be about it, right?
Don't stop talking about it. Just do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's because it's never gonna happen if you keep talking and just
Okay. Yeah.
make something happen.
Break comes higher and